Damn, I forgot how long that intro was. Jesus. Maybe I'm just like, maybe my attention span is just horrible now as I'm getting older, but God, that felt like forever. What's up, guys? You're listening to Metal Massacre or
What's
watching
up?
on YouTube if you're smart. Hope you're having a good day. I'm having a great day because I get to talk to some pretty fucking cool guys. Nathan and Zach from Fox Lake. This band, I literally just found out about you guys. I'm not gonna lie. Like
No way. Okay.
3 weeks ago, maybe. And I was like, oh, mom, how did this like not, like those things that just go through the cracks and you never fucking notice. And then one day you're like, I feel stupid for not knowing this because it's right up my fucking alley. So
Hell yeah.
I've been really hyped on this new album, you guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you, man.
For everyone watching, New World Heat, the new album out this year. Fun cover too. I thought who did the art on that?
It was a guy named, it's our buddy Jack Jordan. He's done all our previous artworks actually. They're kind of in a different style, some of that like
Mhm.
rubber hose or um kind of like old cartoon art. But we wanted a different vibe, but we still wanted to go with him. So yeah, he killed it.
He's got a classic kind of style, I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like I could see him doing like the old propaganda with the girl on the plane kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
he's it's
100%.
it's
Yeah.
kind of got that style, and I really appreciate that because I don't feel like that aesthetic gets used enough in this kind of music.
Yeah, it feels like something different. I think he's pretty versatile too. I mean, he did stuff for Zach, what's the
He did Brockhampton. He did like a whole merch spread for
yeah, some
Brockhampton. I
Oh,
mean,
Brockhampton
he's
cool.
got
stuff.
he's got
I
like
need
a
to check
whole
that
dude.
out.
His catalog is fucking nuts. He's
That's
insanely
awesome.
Yeah,
talented.
he's wild.
He's definitely found a fun like niche with his work to do band stuff because I think that's like one of the best ways to express your music is visually, and that's why you guys make
Mm,
music videos, you work on stage presence. There's all these different factors people don't really think about, but the artwork for me, it's like going to the library or a Barnes and Noble or whatever, and you're looking through like fantasy books or sci-fi books, and you're always drawn to covers. That's what's the
hmm
first thing that's going to get you. So I feel like
Always.
for me with music, it's like it's got to be iconic, and I feel like this is definitely an iconic cover. It's right up there with like a Motley Crue cover for me.
Hell yeah. That's funny you say that.
Big praise.
We were saying that same word. We were like, it has to be like iconic. We were saying kind of the same thing, like if you're, flipping through like the
Yeah,
records at a record store or nowadays, right? It's like you're on like some big Spotify playlist and like all the covers, are on the left there and you're
mm,
like scrolling like what's something that's gonna like stick out, over some
yeah.
of the grays and the dark blues and the blacks and
Oh, it
you know what
totally
I
did.
mean?
Yeah. And I feel like
Hmm.
the colors really pull really well. And that was the first thing I noticed because we get a lot of emails for different bands like, hey, talk to these guys, or what do you think about these guys? And I always scroll down and it's like, it's the same thing. It's like the picture of the band, any tour dates they have, any tracks they have, and then the album with like a tour uh, poster. And immediately I
Okay.
saw that and I went, holy fucking shit. I need to know who this is. So I dug into your guys' stuff. And I have some notes for you. I think this would be interesting. The listeners know I've never taken notes before. I barely passed school. Like
Hell
I'm
yeah,
not a
same.
notes guy. I'm just kind of I'll remember it or I don't. And usually I'm very off the cuff and I don't prepare things. This is kind of the style. So this is new for me. I guess that's a tip of the hat in itself that I felt the need to
Yeah.
write
I'm
anything down.
Yeah.
excited I'm excited to hear your notes.
They're fucking stupid. So the first thing I said is, "This is music I wouldn't mind being beat up to." Like I listen to this and I'm like, if I was getting my ass kicked in like a bar or something and this was playing, I'd still be fine with it. Like the next thing I wrote down is, I love the bass line and freestyle. The song is an S tier song for me on the album, and it's kind of got like a Corn Limp Biscuit melancholy to it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Was that
Yeah.
something
That
you were
was.
thinking about with that? Like Zach, did you bring that out? Were you like, I need something here? Or how did that go?
I mean, that one it started like we wanted to do just something kind of fast. We wanted it to be a shorter song, and we intentionally kind of stopped it. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of like we were trying to get in the headspace of violent PlayStation 1 games, right? Kind of like we're the
Mhm.
inspiration for this song. We're watching 2000 skate videos and stuff in the studio, just try to get in that headspace. So I
That's
mean,
awesome.
yeah, like Limp Bizkit obviously is an influence for a lot of it, like a lot of our stuff, but really that time period.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
That totally makes sense. The next thing I wrote down was it's got the anger of hardcore with the DJing of new metal and the attitude of 80s hip hop. It's kind of like,
Hell
especially
yeah.
with your
That
vocals and your lyrics, dude, like you have this. Okay, so this thing happened in music, right? Rage Against the Machine came along, and then all these bands were like, I love that form of expression lyrically and both vocally. And so there was a lot of people after Rage when they started dying down, in my opinion, that were like, I need to do that. And it all kind of started to sound the same. There's maybe like 3 or 4 bands that have that style to me that like don't try to mimic it.
Mm.
And you guys like that was something that came up in my head was like, well, the layman would be like, oh, it's kind of like Rage Against the Machine, but it's so much deeper than that. I feel like you guys have, I don't know, made your own way in this angry genre, this motivating genre of music that will get you off your fucking ass and get you angry about something, get you like moving and like maybe get you to do something cool with your life. Like that's kind of the vibe I got from this whole like, I don't know, this sound that you guys have cultivated, and especially you, Nathan. I feel like your lyrics kind of also they're a little fucking like you got these little petty one-liners, and I love it. It's
Yeah.
like I can't think of any of them right now, but God, there's like 3 or 4 songs, and I hate when I say petty because it sounds negative. I mean, like, imagine you're in a verbal altercation with someone, and they just lay that one line on you, and you're just like, I'm ruined. Like you have a lot of those, and I think it kind of adds to the song because especially before a breakdown or in those moments, it's like that's what you need, and it's hard to
Yeah.
achieve that sometimes.
Yeah. I think, well, so far with your notes, you've like really hit the nail on the head
yeah.
with things that we've talked about that we want. Like even having like some of these like kind of boom bap interludes, we wanted to have that 90s hip hop influence along with the 90s new metal and everything, but then also, I mean, we love bands like Drain and bands in hardcore right now, so um like Karma and even like more metalcore stuff like Knocked Loose, or if you whatever you describe that as, but like
Yeah, I don't know.
yes,
That's one of those ones. It's so hard to put there.
it's more like deathcore to me
Yeah,
almost, but like if you put like growls over Knocked Loose, you would call it deathcore. I think it's just
Yeah.
because of Brian,
and there's a
it's
lot of.
not deathcore.
I feel like there's a rising in bands like that where the music is one thing, but the vocals are another.
Yeah,
My last
sure.
project I was in was like it really inspired by thrash. So it was a lot of thrash
Mm,
riffs, but then it went to like heavy hardcore stuff. And I did like really staticky kind of screamy vocals to it. And I always remember feeling like this is so weird when you do something like that. But with your vocals, I feel like they go perfectly with this music. Like it doesn't there's no points in the song where I'm going, you know what I mean? And like if
well,
any
good,
if anything,
good.
like I think my what I have here next is going to kind of like sum that up. So I said it sounds like they have a little bit of a lot of genres mixed in, which you guys were kind of saying you had all these influences from the '90s. It makes sense. Go for the Throat is at least 5 genres rolled into one song, and I love it.
Yeah,
It really is. I feel like every time you went somewhere, you just kept going somewhere else, and I was like, it's not as intense as like I don't know if you know the band, the Number 12 Looks Like You.
Of
yes,
course.
yeah,
It's not
yeah,
like that much of a jarring left and right, but it
yeah.
was such a weird rhythm that you kept going through different kinds of riffs. I can tell that you guys work really well together. Like you can feel it in the music really well.
Yeah, I think so. I think like a lot of times when we're writing, especially Go for the Throat, like it's weird. We had spent like a little too long on like the middle breakdown and
Really?
like just
Hmm.
trying to like how do we get it to fit? And like one of my favorite heavy bands is I Am.
Mm.
And so I was like, I want to write like an I Am kind of thing. And we were like, this does not fit anywhere. And then eventually I think we kind of stopped trying to like make it fit. And we were like, let's just write something cool and just not like just shove it into the song, but like kind of like if we think this is cool and we think the breakdown's cool, let's just put it in and like see how it works, you know?
Mm.
Mhm.
And so that's what we did with that one. I think it kind of came out cool when we were releasing, before we released the record. I think a lot of us were like, yeah, like that song will be fine. It's like track 4, like it's not a single. But so far, I think we've heard a lot of people be like, "Golf
Yeah.
in the Throat" is like one of
Mm.
the favorites. So
Number
I think
one.
that's yeah, it's so fun
I
to
think there's
hear.
a couple contenders though for that in this album. Like I can think of at least 2 or 3 that I would say are the best. Like Adrenaline's right up there too.
Yeah.
And just like the all gas no brakes kind of stuff. Like
Hmm.
fuck, dude, I would be in so much trouble if this came out when I was younger.
Yeah. Right.
That's one of my notes is I would literally probably have a record if this came out when I was in high school. Like
That's incredible.
I would have gotten some speeding tickets or
Yep.
something, like something would have
Yep.
gone down. But I said I feel like this band is a band anyone can get into. Like they have something for everyone, but not in a fake surface level way. Like they have, you guys have crazy Dropout Kings energy, but like the steroids on heaviness. You know what I mean? Like it's just so much heavier than like a traditional hip hop kind of influence. Like I feel like a lot of the times
Yeah.
maybe it's just me, but I've noticed that like a lot of the times with bands that are heavy with like a rapper, there's an influence on the rhythm, which is great, but the heaviness kind of goes by the wayside sometimes. And I feel like you have this way with your lyrics where there's a lot of rapping in it. You do really cool rapping with your lyrics and that kind of poetry, but it doesn't like take away from it at all. You guys kind of keep that groove around, but it never really, they're both separate, but they don't fuck with each other. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. I think, yeah, that's a big thing. I think even on our earlier stuff, we didn't have that as much because I think one thing we wanted to do is add that rap influence in
Yeah.
without being like a rap metal band,
I feel like
like,
new
and I
metal's so
think,
much easier too. Maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Yep.
just what we like that's what
Yeah.
we want to be, and that's what we like listening to. So I think like going from like trap hi-hats and like an actual rap verse
Mhm.
and then trying to do a breakdown to me just never hits as hard as like just blending a hardcore or a metalcore verse and putting like some more. I When I was writing the lyrics I was thinking like a lot more like I want less like trap
Yeah.
stanzas, and I want more like rage, Limp Bizkit, POD
Mhm.
stanzas,
Yeah. You really get that feeling, especially with your delivery and your cadence. You switch it up really well off beat, which I think is fun. I've always been a fan of that kind of stuff when I was a kid. Like, even like older like 70s music, how they'd sing a chorus just a little bit off than the last time.
Yeah,
And you'd
right,
always kind of remember
right,
that and go back to it and like you'd do it and then one of your friends would be like, "Oh my god, you can do that?" Like the song. Like
Yeah.
I feel like that kind of stuff is fun with vocals especially, but you got to have the moving pieces to get there first, and I feel like you guys
right.
really thought your shit through with this album. Like it feels like listening to this, I the first thing I noticed is the composition is amazing. I had goosebumps, and so did my wife a couple different times. But one time for me was the transition between Real Fast and Halftime. The very
Yeah.
ending of Real Fast, how it just like
Hmm.
it dive bombs and then it goes right into halftime. I was like, I felt like I was fucked up for a second. I was like, what is going on? Like, these guys really thought this out. Like, you don't get that anymore, man. Like, I guess you do. Like, there are plenty of bands doing it, but like, I don't see it done the way you guys are doing it very often anymore. Maybe like Spirit World, if you know that band.
Oh my
Oh yeah. Big
god,
big fans of
yeah,
Spirit
dude.
World in this band.
Huge fan of
Huge.
Spirit
Yeah,
World.
same. Stu is a genius. I've been trying to get him on this fucking show for years. But, you guys kind of totally reminded me of Spirit World a couple of different times. And I was like, God, I can see these two playing a really good like
Oh hell yeah.
metal hardcore show together with like maybe a couple other bands. Like I feel like that would be one where people are going out in a body bag kind of shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever, when you were younger, did you ever like mosh like that and do stuff like that, or were you kind of just like, nah, that's not for me?
I was a bit of a mosher, yeah.
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 Bit of a,
More
we
of
have
the I was a bit of a mosher. I wasn't a crazy mosher. I like always would like mosh and I was like into it,
Hmm.
but I felt like I always like just liked the heavier bands. So I was like this scrawny like high school kid and I was going to the bands so the shows were like all like like there was like gang activity moshing.
Oh yeah.
And so I would be like I would like try to mosh and then I would get too scared.
You're like, nah, never mind.
yeah,
was
What
all
about
these
you,
yeah
Zach?
5'9" and shit.
Yeah, it was all the 30-year-olds with patches on their back.
Yeah,
You're
the
like,
whole
I'm not
fucking
fucking with these
crew.
guys.
Yeah, I was
No,
like, I think I'll just sit in the back.
That's probably a smart decision, and
yeah.
because you made those choices, you're here today
Yeah.
making heavier music. Zach, what about you? Were you a mosh kid?
I mean, yeah, like my first show was like just this crazy scene lineup. It was like The Word Alive
Oh,
and
nice.
Asking Alexandria
Oh,
and Of Mice
Mm.
and Men and like it just a lot of these bands that like as a scene 14-year-old kid or whatever, I was like, this is incredible. So I didn't know what like real moshing was, and then I went to my first hardcore show like a couple months later, and then I got my shit rocked and was like, okay, maybe moshing isn't for me, but
yeah.
I
I
respect it.
started
Maybe I'm
off.
a scene kid.
I feel like I got traumatized by moshing in my first metal show. Like my first metal show was Lamb of God, and there were just two dudes going at it, and one dude like
Yeah.
fell over, and a bunch of people started kicking him, and I was like, okay, this isn't the kind of moshing I like. And then
Just
they did,
beating a
and
guy
then
up.
and then they did. You're supposed to help him up, and then they did the wall of death, and I was like, no, I'm totally okay with not doing this. And I mean,
Yeah.
I've done a little push moshing and goofing off in the pit at like local shows and shit, but like, I don't know, man. I'm just there to have a good time. I'm not there to
Yeah.
like
Do you
get
ever do any
fucked.
of the rowboat or
Yeah, I would love to do the row. Yeah, I
okay.
did that at one show. I don't remember what show it was, but
Yeah.
yeah, I've done
There's
one.
a few versions of that. There's like the rowboat, there's the I saw another one. There was one like of people playing Magic. They like opened up the pit
Yeah, I think
and
I
they
saw
played
that. It was on
Magic in the
Instagram or
middle.
something, right?
I think that was Frozen Soul. Yeah.
Nice. I
Yeah.
saw Dragon Force, and they had like a huge plush chicken, and they're like, we're gonna stop playing if this chicken stops moving, and so they threw it everywhere in the arena, like
Oh,
balconies, all that shit. It was just this chicken dancing around the fucking arena the whole time, and I was like, this is fun. I
That's rad.
appreciate that, and I think it's I'm never gonna remember how to pronounce the name of the band without looking at it. It's like Sanqui Sagabab.
oh,
Oh,
sing
Sang
like a
Uh,
dog.
Shugabab.
Yeah.
God, I
Yeah.
fucking hate that. And they did that
Yeah.
on purpose. But they do this thing where they're like, hey, whoever gets this football at the end of the song gets a t-shirt, and people like murder each other for that football.
Dude,
I think
yeah, we were literally just talking to our manager about that exact same thing. We were like, we should have some kind of inflatable something to throw out in the crowd
yeah.
and kind of just totally rip them off.
Yeah, maybe
You know,
like a knife. Like if we had
Like
a
a real
knife.
knife.
Yeah, whoever uses this on someone gets a free shirt.
Whoever's holding this gun at the end of our set, it's a free.
that'd be your last show. It'd be memorable though. You guys would go down in history.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'd
We
remember
talked
you.
about
For
on
sure.
Lamb Goat.
Yeah. Oh God. Every time I see one of their articles on Instagram, people are just so fucking angry. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude.
God, I'm just that respect, but that game's not for me. The whole like print media thing on digital media or whatever. I'm just like, let me talk. If people want to make fun of me in the comments, that's cool. I can handle it. But putting out articles, I'm like, I feel like there's so much more to that. Because it's like you write an article, that's like part of who you are. You know, like that's your shit.
Oh yeah.
Get
Yeah.
dissed on for that. I feel like I'd be so like I'd be bummed for a
Yeah.
week.
Yeah,
But
that's yeah, it's the articles are tough. I feel like I don't know, it's just not something like people really feel like they engage in, but like
yeah,
especially in this record cycle, like we've done so many and we see these like articles like, oh cool, like this article got put out and it's like sometimes like a great, like really
yeah,
thoughtful article and it's like one like,
Yeah.
like
Just brutal.
yeah, like 7 views. It's like, oh,
you're like, oh great,
seems like a
cool.
tough, yeah, seems like a tough game.
I feel that. I feel like podcasts are just easier for people nowadays too. Like I've been podcasting since like 2016, and I've noticed this trend
Oh
where
damn.
people like don't listen to the news anymore. They'd rather like find someone they agree
Yeah.
with and listen to what
Yeah.
they think for an hour or two.
100%. Yep.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think you should still fact check things and like look out for your own best interests and see what people are saying outside of one person. But I mean, whatever helps you, man, as long as you're not like crazy news person. Like,
Yeah, I think people just like would rather. I mean, I listen like audiobooks. You know, I would rather just
yeah,
listen to something and like
it's
plug it in
easier.
rather than like than just reading something.
And especially nowadays on your own pace, like God, that's so much easier than the way it
Oh
used to
yeah.
be. Like I love the 90s too, but God, there are some things I'm glad we don't have anymore.
Yeah.
Like, but I do miss a lot. I'm a 90s kid too. I was born in 91, so I miss like growing up in that era and everything about it, man. But this album completely kind of took me back there. But I'll say this, I've said this about another band too. And I think it's a trend. I think there's a lot of this going on. There's bands that have new metal influences and they make you think of those old bands and that old feeling and that nostalgia, but it's like a whole new brought into the future kind of way. It's like I didn't know that genres could keep going like that, like this, you know. And I kind of thought new metal was. I thought for a while it was dead, and like there weren't a lot of people doing a lot of new metal now. But I've noticed a lot of really good bands coming up, like having some sort of influence. I feel like your guys is one of the stronger ones for me. Where I listened to the whole album a couple times back to back. I sat down and like took that and literally was like, I don't do that anymore. And you guys have something fun here, man. Like seriously.
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, we wanted it to feel like, I think one of the things we had talked about was like, you know, there's something about like plugging it into if you're old enough, like your CD, like Walkman, you know, or like on your iPod Classic. You know, like
Ooh,
there
yeah.
felt like that like took you back to like, and maybe it's just age, but I feel like that took you back to like a really like exciting time with music. And
Yeah,
like
it was so personal, you know, like
yeah, and it
Yeah.
felt like it was more energetic. And I think technically a lot of that has to do with things. Sometimes things are just like too overproduced, and I feel like we're seeing that in film a lot with like the uncanny valley, you know,
yeah,
if like it
yeah.
registers to you like it's really not real, you know?
Mhm.
And so we wanted to make sure like we wanted to have production and have, you know, good production value, but we also wanted it to make it kind of sound like it was in a basement or in a
Mm.
garage, you
Yeah,
know,
it's
like
got like that. It's got it's not like super. I don't want to say it's not super polished because it is. Like master wise, this is an amazing album, but it's got this aesthetic and this dinge to it.
yeah, it's
Does
got
that
like a
make sense?
feel and a vibe to it.
Yeah,
It doesn't feel like super like polished in the box.
it
Yeah,
seems
almost
more
live.
analog. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we wanted that warmth to it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Zach, is that something you're a fan of? Are you one of those people like me that collects VHSs or something?
Dude, collecting VHS is respectable.
That's kind of
I don't,
that's kind
but
of a flex.
yeah, honestly, I think that's so cool.
Thanks.
I don't even know like how to start doing that.
Oh, dude, there's plenty of go on Etsy, look up a movie you love now, and get it on VHS. There's people that make like custom art
No
for it and
shit,
all that. Oh
really?
yeah, I got Terrifier 1 and 2 on VHS. Like
That's rad.
I
That's so
love that
That's
kind
cool.
of shit.
cool.
That
I'm
is
a really
so
big fan
sick.
of one of a kind like stuff, you know, and maybe that's
Mhm.
why I like you guys so much is because I feel like you are a kind of one of a kind band. Like I'm not trying to sit here and just like suck your dicks the whole time, but like
No, I don't mind.
seriously,
It's fine.
I
like
know, yeah, you can do that.
yeah, no, just keep going. Yeah. We'll let you know. No, you guys have this unique quality in your music where maybe it's that kind of 90s sound to it that you were describing, but it feels I don't know. It feels like I'd be way happier listening to this on vinyl. Please tell me you have vinyls.
We do have vinyls.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank God.
Yep.
I'm totally going to be picking up one of those. So okay, we're almost done with my stupid little notes. Bear with
Keep
me.
going, keep going.
Okay, well, if it came out in high school, I'd be fucked. All right, here we go. I also said your lyrics could motivate the most stubborn of dumbasses to fight a war over anything. I don't know when I wrote that, but I think it was about halfway through the album. I was like, God, this guy is like this guy's getting it. You know what I mean? Like you have this energy to it. I really love. Was that always the direction, or did you ever have any other like, I guess, voice in your head when you were writing?
I feel like I did have other voices in my head, but I think I've told the guys like I'll write multiple versions of each song, like about a different thing,
Yeah.
And there were some like maybe more like sad kind of like lyrics. So I feel like most of them came out like kind of just like pissed off or like motivating in
Yeah.
some kind of way or something. So I had some that were like sad and it just never fit. It never felt like that was supposed to be kind of the vibe of the record.
Now, do you think that's an album thing, or do you think that's a sound of the band thing? Do you think you could ever go to that place with this band, or is Fox Lake the angry, motivating sound? You know what I mean?
I think we could go there. I think especially like the sound of the band for this record isn't that way. I think there's been like maybe 2 songs in the past that felt like they were a little bit different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it is kind of the sound of the band. I also think like you don't want something that's like so just kind of like aggressive.
Yeah.
And then like somebody whining over it,
Yeah, and there's something to be said about like overstimulation.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing I kind of thought about while I was listening to this is like it doesn't exhaust me. And there's so many angry bands where it's like, God, dude, I get it. Okay.
Right.
Listen, I get it. Like, buddy, I feel you, but like do something like different for 2 songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
And I never got that fucking exhaustion.
Good. Because I feel the same way, and I feel like that's like a reason I love Spirit World is I don't ever feel that because like
oh yeah,
I mean you have the whole concept record and the storytelling with them and everything, but
yeah.
I always have disliked when people like start like a one-liner of like, I hope this X, Y, and Z bad thing happens to you.
Yeah.
Or you stabbed me in the back. Or I don't know. It sounds like a teenage diary kind of to me that like a grown man is like screaming over.
It's like too emo. It's more of an emo thing.
Yeah, and it's all in this. It's all in this deathcore now. It's like this whole like I hope the worst for you, and it's like, well, do something, man. Do it. That's tough.
You guys kind of have that answer to that stuff though, with your motivating kind of stuff. It like makes it puts it in a whole nother realm where it's not like you're not just crying and whining about shit. You're like calling shit out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's the difference there. And it's not like political corruptness all the time. I think you're calling out a lot of stuff. Like I personally will say to you, Gut Check kind of pissed me off. I was a little mad at you for that. Good. I was like, I feel like he's kind of calling me out for something and I don't know what. So like, good job for that. I have two last notes for you guys and then we'll let you get back to your lives. My wife said that Nathan looks like he would give really good cuddles for what it's worth. This is my wife.
Thank you.
So she was like, "Oh, he looks like he's a good cuddler." I was like, "I'll let him know you said that."
Yeah,
I think I'm above average.
You're an above average cuddler. Where would you put yourself 1 to 10 on the cuddles?
Well, Zach and I share a bed a lot on tour, so
yeah.
Oh, you guys have to share beds.
Maybe Zach should answer.
I mean, yeah.
Zach would know.
Yeah,
he's a solid 8. Like,
solid
8,
dude. That's like you could go big spoon or little spoon with a score like that.
I think I'm better than that, but I'll take it.
He's like, all right, whatever, man. Well, guys, you have a tour coming up. Looks like end of September, you'll be in Iowa City on the 26th for anyone close to. We're in Omaha, so anyone close, go check them out. I know there's probably some local support you guys are having on a couple of these, right?
Yeah, we have so Kawanashi is going to be the direct support for the whole tour, and then there's like rotating regional support, and then I think we will have local support. But we added a bunch of dates to that, and I think our first date is Omaha. Am I right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not announced yet. It should be.
It's not announced, but it's like
Omaha will be the first date.
Yeah, it's like the 20 something ish, 22nd.
Shit, I want to come see you guys if you're coming
Come
to
out.
Omaha. That'd be
Come
fun.
out.
Hell yeah. It's probably at the waiting room, I bet. That's a really big one for this kind of genre, I guess. They do a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, anything that's like the shittiest, most rundown place in your city, that's probably where we're gonna play.
We love playing basements. I love it. That's like the
Yeah.
OG 90s hardcore, like
Yeah.
we'll play a house show shit.
If it doesn't have a working restroom, that's where we're playing.
Oh, dude, there's plenty of places like that here. You'll never leave. Zach, Nathan, you guys have been really fun. I appreciate you for joining me. Thanks for taking the time. Is there anything you want to leave of our listeners and our watchers before we get out of here?
Listen to the record, share the record, and come out to a show because the live energy.
Come see us on tour, man.
The new World Heat Tour 2025. It's going to be a good one. You guys are going all around the world, or no, I should say country. This is my world. I don't go outside of the United States anymore.
It's the world now. Yeah.
This is my entire world here, so that's what you're doing. But no, I appreciate you guys. Again, thanks to Fox Lake for a killer album. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Don't forget, be good people. We'll see you later.